Good day, and welcome to another episode of Tickle Talk Show, where we encourage a culture of recognition. Thank you so much for all of you who've watched our previous episodes, and then also a new addition to our pocket of products, our Tickle Blitz weekly show. This show will give you an opportunity to engage with us, to send us a tweet, a Facebook like, or just a comment, and we will feature you on our weekly Tickle Blitz show. With me again is my co-presenter, Alberic. How are you?
Hi, Aini. Yes, honored to be here in another episode of Tickle. We've got a very inspirational guest on our show today, Furlo Theron. Now, Furlo sustained a serious spinal cord injury in 2016 in a rugby match. And despite this injury, he's been inspirational in his community. He's been a shining light for others, and he's been educating others about his injury. Good day, Furlo. How are you?
Good day, gents. I'm very well, thanks, and you?
We're good, thanks, man. Thanks for joining us.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Furlo, it's an honor and a pleasure having you on our show. Can you perhaps just elaborate a bit more about your injury, how it occurred, and how it affects you?
Well, basically, my injury in a nutshell, I basically severed my C5 and C6 vertebrae of my spinal cord, which leaves me being a quadriplegic, meaning that I, I've lost the use of my legs, and I've lost the use of most of my arm function and my hand function. And in a nutshell, basically, my injury happened on the 2nd of July 2016 whilst playing for Abbotsdale Rugby Club's second team. The match was in Langville, St. Helena Bay. And yeah, on the 2nd of July 2016, I still can't recall precisely what happened, but I've got a vague idea where I took a quick tap and I saw at the corner of my eye a guy approaching me, and I basically braced myself for impact. And then afterwards, I was lying on the field, motionless. Could only move my right arm for slightly at at that period of time.
Wow, that's obviously it's a very debilitating injury. How's it affected your day-to-day life?
My day-to-day life look normally before I was more independent, and there wasn't that much of a schedule for everything. Like now, for instance, after injury, there's a schedule for everything. There's a schedule for when I need to be washed, when I need to take my tablets, when I need to get into the chair, um, how long I must be in the chair, how long. So everything needs to be timed. So it's a very meticulous process, which people don't actually see. If I can call it behind the scenes, but everything needs to be met- meticulous so that at the end of the day that it benefits me.
So, Furlo, I can only imagine, after the injury, and like you explained now, everything is scheduled. This injury has actually changed your life in so many ways. But you had the support of a Chris Berger, a Petro Jackson Fund that
Yep.
assisted you, that supported you, and is still giving back to you and to your family. Can you tell us a bit more about the support of the fund and how they have actually aided your situation?
Well, for the fund, I wish there was, for the lack of a better word, I can only say thank you. And there are two specific ladies that I want to mention because they came into my life. I was an unknown. I was basically just a player that had an unfortunate injury, and I've built lasting relationship with these two ladies, and that is Gail Berricker and Tori Gardner. I met Gail when I was in the rehab, and I thought to myself, this lady doesn't know me. And she comes here and she asks me questions and stuff like that. And the first things she said to me, Furlo, good morning, I'm Gail. Your life has just started. new life for you. And it's going to be awesome. So with the players fund, what happens is that any head injury or spinal cord or debilitating neck injuries suffered during rugby, whether it be street rugby, club rugby, or anything like that, it gets registered, and the Chris Berger Petrol Jackson Players Fund, they um, they assist you with your day-to-day living, and not just the initial part, but throughout your journey. And I actually found out that I'm actually fortunate that I was in South Africa at the time, because this is the only organization of organization in the world. So we are actually fortunate that, oh, I'm actually fortunate that it happened in South Africa and that I'm injured in rugby.
It's great to hear, Furlo. And then also latching on, you also mentioned during my visit to you
Yeah,
a few weeks ago that they also assisted with the conversion of your house to be more wheelchair friendly, and there's other aids like your motorized wheelchair that they sponsored. Um, it's just great what the fund does, and how they really assisted you, because
yeah,
without them, this wouldn't have been possible for you to obviously cope with this injury.
yeah. Look, but basically what happened is in the rehab, I realized actually how fortunate I am. I know many people will say, but how can you say you're fortunate? But how fortunate I actually am that I got injured in rugby, because at that time I didn't have the proper medical aid, and we did inquiries about equipment and stuff like that, and unfortunately it wasn't provided for me. And without hesitating, Gail came to me and said, "Don't worry about the thing, we've got you covered." And they converted my house, um, where it was wheelchair friendly for me. They gave me two brand new wheelchairs as well, just to name a few. They are currently contributing towards my medical expenses. And one thing that I must mention is they actually, at the Sports Science Institute of South Africa, there is an NPO being run by Brandon Dick. He's actually a paraplegic. He got injured whilst doing gymnastics, and he has an NPO called Walking with Brandon, the Walking with Brandon Foundation, where it aids people who have injuries that change their lives, not just in rugby, but any injuries from strokes to unfortunate accidents and stuff like that, to 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 make themselves more independent in their day-to-day living. And I had the opportunity where Chris Berger, they sponsored me a trial period where I got to walk for the first time in an exosuit. And that is just the contribution they are making towards my everyday life.
With your injury, obviously we've spoken about how debilitating it is, and you mentioned your
Mm.
schedule, and obviously it disrupted your life in many ways. But you're also doing some great work at the Joe Dolphin Care Center. Can you tell us more about the
Yeah.
work you do there?
First of all, the Joe Dolphin Case Center, just to put it into perspective, it is a center for children with severe to profound intellectual disability. This covers a range from Down syndrome to autism spectrum to the Tourette the diseases and stuff like that. So basically, it gave me a new meaning to life. The first day when I went in for an interview, I was still in that kind of mourning period, and with regards to my injury, and I felt sorry for myself. And when I met those children, it just opened up a new life for me, and I realized that wow, how fortunate I am to be able to be use my brain. And for me, currently what I'm doing there, I joke around and say, unfortunately, I'm the face of Joe Dolphin. So hopefully they they get some nice donations because of this face, unfortunately. But we are an NPO that gets modest subsidy from the Department of Social Development, and my day-to-day business basically is doing administration, looking for donations, um, and basically just in engaging with future donors or with current um, keeping up maintaining relationships with our current donors and stuff like that. Is that's what I'm basically doing my day to day.
Oh, that's fantastic, and I think your personality obviously suits that role. And I'm wishing you all the success with Joe Dolphin, and I'm hoping to see that organization just going from strength to strength. What a lot of people don't know, Furlo, is that you were actually a very, very good sportsman, playing rugby for Abbotsdale Rugby Club, playing provincial cricket in various age group. You represented Boland, and you also played some golf. How does sport still play a role in your day-to-day life to cope with your injury?
Look, sport told me one thing: perseverance. And another thing, hard work. And I think that is the characteristics that I take into my daily life with every single challenge I'm facing. And that is what that is what I'm living at the moment. Is like, yes, uh, there are some things I can't do like I used to do before, but let's try a different tactic, like like we always did on halftime, or at the halfway house. Let's change our tactics. If this isn't working, let's try something else. If that is working, good. Stick to that, and make it even better. So those are some of the things that actually helps me in my day-to-day life with with regards to my injury and with trying to live as normal life as possible.
You've attended the IOB Cape Town Sevens before.
Yes.
And obviously it's a great stadium, and we spoke about it last week as well in terms of the access,
Yeah.
etc. Do you think our stadiums in South Africa are accessible enough for people with disabilities?
In South Africa, unfortunately, I can't comment, but what I can say, with the stadiums that I've been to, the differences between Newlands and Cape Town Stadium. Yes, Newlands, we have our suite there, which is very comfortable for us. But in terms of Cape Town Stadium, you don't have to take any elevators. It is much more convenient and it's much more open, especially accessing the stadium and also exiting the stadium as well, where there's no lifts. It is there's a bigger space, so which means you don't have to be patrolled by a carer by asking the people a lot, like, sorry, he's coming through, sorry, he's coming through. So the Cape Town Stadium is definitely one of the stadiums or the places that I've been to that is much more comfortable for me.
Furlo, we've heard that you're great with numbers, especially considering that you worked in a bank. Can you see yourself merging your love for numbers and your love for sport?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's where I'm in the fortunate position of having a passion for numbers and a passion for sports. And as we all know that sports has become sports and stats analysis has become very important in recent times. And if I can do that, if I can sit in front of the PC and tell someone, look, um, this is the stats with regards to this. What if we turned it around and do it this way and improve this stats and improve these stats? Then this will make a difference into your game or the team's game. That would be amazing.
And speaking about being a sports supporter, I see there's a very nice portrait of a Blue Bull jersey just behind you. It looks very, very nice. I see it's a look like a Puma signed Puma boot as well.
Yes,
is it a professional player's attire?
Yeah, this was basically the the 2016 jersey that was worn by Adrian Strauss, and his boot as well. I one of his boots which he signed, and the whole 2016 squad signed it as well. It was actually given to me by one of the people that I played with schools cricket, Gijsbert van Zyl. He actually gave it to me and the Blue Bulls signed it with a nice message just to tell me that, look, you are not alone in this fight. We've got your back figuratively, and we're with you every step of the way.
That's just wonderful, and it's great to see players backing guys like you, and thanks to Puma as well for coming on board and sponsoring that great looking portrait with the jersey. Furlo, on a lighter note, you are a aspiring stand-up comedian. That is something that you want to do. You want to have your own show. Are you ready and geared for it?
Look, two things. First of all, stand-up comedy, you need to go to stage. And the first problem that I have now currently standing up. So the comedy I've got figured out, but the standing up, that would be a problem. So I think I need to work on maybe sitting down or something like that. And the second thing is, I actually tried my hand at acting before this, and I went for an audition and everything, and unfortunately I didn't get the part. And I was doing inquiries, and I later found out, but the reason why I didn't get it because the ad was for Johnny Walker. And unfortunately, as you know, walking is not an option for me.
Okay, right. I think you're moving in the right direction, though. Well done. Now, Furlo, it's an honor and a pleasure having you on the show. I think you've really opened up about your situation. You also obviously capacitated myself and Alberic to learn more about people with disabilities. I think this interview really capacitated me as a person to learn more about the challenges you face on a day-to-day level, but also the spirit and the passion with what you speak. You're always positive. During some of the discussions, I was almost taken away and listening to that commitment to still make a change in society. And this is what Tackle is all about, is encouraging that culture of recognition. And today we want to recognize you. Continue with the good work, continue giving back to the community and inspiring people in the same situation that which you are.
Yeah, I think just to add to that, we like your spirit, we like your energy. Let us know when your stand-up shows or your seated show starts, and we'll be the first guys to buy tickets. So yeah, well done, man.
Thank you, Heinrich and Alberic, for having me, and good luck on your future. So thank you for making a difference as well by airing the show with the different topics. I'm excited to see what follows.
Furlo, so thanks so much. Alberic, again, thanks so much. As I say, we have come to an end of another episode. Again, to our viewers and followers, the comments, the feedbacks, thanks so much. Please continue. Like our show at Tackle Chat on various social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.